Yep, there's
So
two
that's
ways to
good
take it.
bring that.
You take it the wrong way, or you take it the empowering way. So this is definitely the game now to show what you're made out of. Last game, not really Petushar's fault. His hero was basically just countered last game, leading into a lot of deaths on the Timber Saw. This game is looking something similar if he were to play a Timber Saw, which was banned in the first phase by Team Unique, and obviously not a great pick anymore into this current draft as well. With Lina, Enchantress, and Lion added into the mix. So what do you think about Team Unique's draft here?
5 seconds
Well, I
remaining.
actually wanted to bring up this pick by Team Empire here, which is the Enchantress into the Doom. Like, are you going to bring his snacks to him as sort of bottle service? What is this?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
she's
guess.
not going to be happy about this Lina and this Lion either.
Not really. I think Enchantress is great against the Doom in the laning stage, but after that, it's gonna turn quite a lot. Doom is gonna have some hard time hitting this Enchantress, but you get one good War Stomp off, it might be enough to bully this Enchantress away completely. Plus, Lina, Lion, fantastic bursters to take down the untouchable Enchantress, so to say. Though, an interesting part, we've seen a lot of Terrorblade lately. We've seen a couple Lifestealers match up against it. Both heroes banned by Team Empire. So, a new carry hero, maybe? It's not exactly a fantastic Ursa game, but something similar. I would like to see a Troll, but I think Troll is also going to get controlled a lot. This hero, however, doesn't have any counters on the board right now.
No, and we have seen one Phantom Lancer run away with the game already, which was Watson. And this is very much, again, showing the Team Empire, yeah, they want to take their time here. It's a good diffuse game with 2 casters on the board, but it's also not that great versus the Phoenix. If the right PL gets found, he is absolutely dead. At the very least, they're going to have the time, though, because of this ban. You brought up the TB, but also the Luna as well. Both of these heroes are good at taking buildings, and that is something that Team Empire do not want to have happen to them. So, I am a Phantom Lancer doubter, right? I think you can all hear that. But the problem is that I recently saw it do extremely well in the hands of Watson. Made sure that he got active as soon as he got his Diffusal Blade. I think there's quite some options for him to do that this game as well. Neither the Lina or the Lion are going to survive a PL going on him if they are isolated from the rest of the team. So what I do think that Team Unique is going to want, and it's going to have to all come down to this one pick here, is they need both team fight and they need something that has more than just one spell in order to clear out these illusions, find the right PL so that they can then single target him down.
That's true. Even anything that allows to reveal the right PL in fights. The Ursa would be one with Fury Swipes that always stay on top of the target. This also allows the Lion to get the Hex more efficiently out. Because that Hex is probably their best tool on killing the Phantom Lancer in this game. What if they do not go for an Ursa? I'm still kind of thinking a Juggernaut could maybe be alright here, but not sure if Jug is the option Unique wants to go for. Probably another range hero, because Palantimos loves to play range carries.
He does, yes. I mean, the Ursa is one of his signatures from back in the day that I worked with him, actually.
Yeah.
Back then he liked to go, you had the huge AoE Earthshock talent, and he would like to go Radiance and I think Shiva's Guard with that as well, so he would get huge AoE blow-ups as soon as he jumped in. It was pretty wild. It's not actually good. We never did in officials, but he loved running that in pubs.
Surprise element for sure. The Diffusal Blade was something I was thinking about. Get more aggressive fast hits in. Pretty good with, especially now with this Wind Ranger, because of the Wind Run. And it's going to be a Bloodseeker out of all things. So this is another option if you find the right PL. This doesn't really enable the Lion, but if any hero basically on Unique who is able to reveal the right Phantom Lancer, he is going to take a lot of hits in. Not only just the Lion, but the Bloodseeker Rupture, Lina with the burst damage, and of course the Doom. I think the Doom spells literally 4 letters on the forehead of this Phantom Lancer if things were to go that way.
It's very possible indeed. I mean, this Phantom Lancer, normally what you do is you get 2 survivability tools. One comes for free, which is your Doppelganger. And the second one is, of course, the Manta Style that you're usually going to get. And together you get to dodge 2 abilities. Let's say a Lina stun and a Lion stun. But now you're also going to have to deal with the AoE from Bloodseeker.
Yep.
You're going to have to deal with, as soon as you're found, with all of this single target disable. And as well, like this Bloodseeker is once again going to play a way faster game than the entirety of Team Empire's draft can handle. There is an option here for the Wind Ranger to get out of control, but at the same time, if she gets ruptured, she's also not gonna have a good time.
Rupture is definitely a strong spell in this. This is also Team Unique with the last pick of the draft. Last time it was Team Empire with the Magnus. What do you think about Team Empire's draft as a whole? Is it better than in Game 1?
They certainly have the ability to make more plays. I'm a big fan of Dragon Knight as kind of a core to build your team around. You push a couple of towers, you buy a Blink Dagger with that money, and then you start crossing that distance that you just created much faster because you have that mobility tool. You go from a passive pusher to an initiator. So if he has a decent lane, if he connects well with the damage that's going to come out from his mid laner, then they have a lot more ways to lengthen this game for their Phantom Lancer than just buying space with their bodies, which is what we saw them forced into, unfortunately, in the previous map.
Well, Game 2 now underway.
You weren't so damn
Last time we
dead,
saw
I'd
some
shoot you
smoke
again.
shenanigans on both sides.
You weren't
Unique
so
was
damn dead, I'd shoot you again.
preparing more aggressively as Empire was sitting under their tower. This time it looks like it's going to be Team Empire taking at least over the triangle. And by the looks of it, it just might stay this way, that we don't necessarily see a big clash. They've become lesser and lesser frequent, having these big early pre-minute clashes, Kips.
Yeah, it feels like as we go further into the tournament, people start playing a little bit more conservatively, which is always the case. It feels like you're closer to the prize, right?
Yeah.
And this could be elimination for Team Empire right here. No TI dream for you, even though it seems so far away right now.
Isn't that always? With every tournament, there's always a lot of steps to take. Some steps more important than others. Win the right games. A term that we love to use in ice hockey a lot. So I think this is also a case for upper bracket giving a chance in the lower bracket, but then it's really no second chances after that. And we are speaking about the lower bracket indeed. So loser goes home, stays home without the chance of competing in the $40 million tournament. And Team Empire is down by a map. So if they're able to come and tie up the series, stretch it to a game number 3, we might see a wholly different story between these two teams. We had a very aggressive game number 1, a lot of fighting in the early game, especially in the laning stage, which kind of fought against the you talked about the passiveness. You could say passiveness. I would say a bit defensiveness of Team Empire. They still responded to most of the fighting, and played a lot with the Timbersaw as the Luna was still sitting in the lane. A little bit of a different draft, but I'm expecting this might just be a little calmer because of the Doom for Unique probably doesn't spell as much aggression for this top lane. And you look at bot lane, well, it's a Bloodseeker who would love to get his farm going before he starts rolling out. Or you have any different thoughts than I do? I feel like it's going to be a calm start.
Probably, again, a lot is riding on this mid lane. There's no way that Empire is going to let Depressed Kid suffer another loss in the mid lane. Now, this should be a lot better of a matchup for him.
Yeah.
But if it starts going south again, they knew that last game they just did not have a playmaker because he lost his lane so badly. So this time they're going to have to opt out of winning the top lane like they did previously, and instead just making sure that they have a game on his Wind Ranger. And remember, Magnus also farms the jungle. He comes back. He actually had a moment to come back into this game when he got himself a Blink Dagger, and they unfortunately failed to find a good engagement with that smoke. Wind Ranger does not get a power spike like that.
Looking at the matchup for mid, I think Lina is still a favorite out of these two, the Lina versus the Wind Ranger matchup. But as you said, already much better. I like the Wind pick in overall. It enables maybe Depressed Kid a lot more because he was living in the shadows. Game number 1, he didn't really get to play his game. He didn't really get to perform at the level he's meant to perform, because he is still a very talented guy. He was, let's say, hidden potential in the previous match, because Magnus is pretty much just a playmaker in most cases. It just didn't have the damage from the Medusa when they needed to. The enemy was way too far ahead at that point. We have our Bloodseeker and our Doom back on the field. I think our game will also get to continue. Start looking at this mid matchup right away. Probably going to start off pretty chill. But trading hits. Lina has the damage output advantage here against the Wind Ranger. And maybe a tiny bit of range advantage. Just a tiny bit. I think it's like 50 points of extra attack range on the Lina, if I remember correct, compared to the Wind Ranger. But once you get Wind Run and you use it efficiently, you can still dodge LSA stuns and keep yourself a little bit better into the lane. Lina just outstats Wind Ranger in every way.
She does, and that Wind Ranger is going to have to start using the power shot
No, you don't.
in exactly the right moments, and the Fen knows when they're going to come, yeah, so he can immediately target after that.
Very back and forth. Back in the bottom lane, Petushara, this time a DK into the off lane. A lot bulkier, a lot tankier. Gonna set up as the initiator for the team, so most likely it's gonna be something like a blink stun build that we're gonna look for on this DK. He can push down early towers too. Still has like a similar type of role as the Timbersaw does. So just a repeat performance from game number 1, because I still feel like he played well, he farmed well. Might do better this time.
Spamming out those stuns, trying to keep Palantimos from getting last hits, but as it turns out, you're still a melee hero versus a Phoenix. You're going to take a lot of damage when you go in.
That is for sure the true part, as Big Num finds Vanscore. He was the target of several wombo combos. And as we speak, it is Petushara who picks the first blood, and spamming Dragon Tail actually works out. So that's another T-Tours in the books, but was not expecting the DK to pull out first blood at level 2 with no Breathe Fire.
Yeah, especially that part is concerning to me. It must have been a lot of input from Sayu on that one, and Palantimos maybe allowing himself to get a little bit too low, trying to rely on the thirst to get his HP back and overextending a little bit.
Yep.
You've been burned.
Depressed Kid gets the Water Rune, however Lina is already 5 CS ahead.
This difference shouldn't get that much bigger. The only reason that the Lina is going to start ticking up eventually again is because she farms jungle more effectively as well. The Wind Ranger is more powerful as a ganker, but at the very least, in terms of game impact, the Wind Ranger shouldn't get too much further behind this.
Do you think we're going to see an early Javelin on Wind Ranger? I feel like Depressed Kid wants to be a bit more aggressive, maybe relieve the pressure of the side lanes a bit more than he did with the Magnus game, where he was unable to participate. So I feel like he really wants to be aggressive this time and move around the map.
Yeah, Javelin into Blink Dagger, very possible. He does not necessarily need to be an initiator this game though, because you also have a DK who's going to be rushing a Blink in pretty much any scenario here.
Yep.
So you could also be thinking about finishing more damage early, getting your full Mjolnir up. Or I should say Maelstrom, excuse me. That's one of those things that throughout the years, that one's never gonna stick just right.
Some things don't.
Can't do it. Lightning Hammer is Lightning Hammer. Lightning Hammer is named Mjolnir.
It's not even
Yeah, it's
What?
not
You
wrong
say
to
there's
call it the
two?
Lightning Hammer. That's what it is. It is the Hammer of the Gods in some cases, as well as Sayu. He is taking more of the scythe of the farmers right now, as Palantimos is just slapping away. That's gonna be a first kill for him after that first death, is it? He's gonna break the salve at least. He's hungry for blood. But they're gonna turn it around, actually, in this case, as Depressed Kid also joins in the fun. And he's got a TP cancel. He gets it. Palantimos is in trouble now because they canceled his TP. Wind Ranger's coming in. He realizes this is his time to shine. They're going to use all of the stick charges. Tries to move out. He's going to soak up this blood. Right, but a nice shackle shot
close.
right into the bunch of trees. He's still running back and forth, but a power shot into the face. A lot of time for Palantimos not to take any farm, and Depressed Kid gets a kill.
That was indeed very painful. He must have missed at least a full wave during that, and Petushara wasn't even involved. He was mostly just tussling with Sayu. That's very much not worth.
It's kind of like even if the Lina was free farming in this mid lane for 1.5 waves, pretty much with all that, you're still gonna want to take that fight because you know Bloodseeker is such a huge part of Team Unique's aggression. So if you can take a kill, and if you can keep him busy, and it's most importantly, even cancel his TP, meaning he's been running the last 20 seconds back to this lane. Huge profit.
He's got quite a bit of catching up to do here, and Perushara has out-leveled him in the meantime. That's the worst part about it.
He's got double the last hits as well. 11 versus 23, plus that 1 kill, and Bloodseeker died twice. Not enjoying his time. Empire looking a lot better now, but we have a mid-rotation with Big Num securing the action rune. Depressed Kid checking the bottom side. Let's see who's luckier this time. Is it the Wind Ranger? It's a DD for Depressed Kid. He's happy with that. We also have a Centaur coming towards mid, but no Lina to be spotted, so instantly 180 degrees back to the top lane.
Maybe right in time to bring another snack to Ghost Stick.
Maybe.
They had the big camp here blocked for the longest time, which is, of course, if you're a Doom, a little bit inconvenient, because, yeah, then you can't get your own snacks either. But
Sure, yeah.
it also means that Vanscore did not have as much of an impact on this top lane as he could have had, and Ghost Stick is looking pretty content with himself as a result.
He had a Wild Ring Ripper a moment ago for the extra armor, now he's got Satyr
Run off.
for a more HP regen. And as he pops the Scorched Earth, doesn't really do that much damage. He's got the Devour up and running, 10.4 HP regen. So he's good. He's good here. Tiny enchant, a bully there from the Enchantress, but that's about it. 7 minutes, only 2 kills. It is going as I expected. It's a very calm start, but things are about to ramp up in the coming minutes. I think after the 10-minute mark, there might be more brawling. Well, we're going to need some items on both ends until we actually see big commitments kick in.
Yep, Depressed Kid with his DD rune in his bottle is most likely waiting for a fight to break out so he can TP in and make a turnaround with a good shackle. But no opportunities are presenting themselves here. So instead, Vanscar has moved over towards him and they're scouting behind the stars, seeing if they can put some pressure over on FN.
Throw in a couple of Hadoukens there. Nice connections though, getting hits on both the heroes twice in a row there. It's always it's a bit over 100 damage. Yeah, 160 damage on every target. So it's kind of like a plus the power shot. You've got 2 nice multiple target hit abilities, which is nice. But the action rune again on the bottom half. FN takes it. Enchant remove with the illusion, but there's a shackle shot to be used and the DD as well. But Big Num is keeping the distance, holding with a stun. We do have Seiyu in the back. FN is in trouble and finally ticks down to Depressed Kid. 2-0 on this Wind Ranger and a much needed kill against the Lina.
This is going to put quite a bit of damage onto that mid tower too, I imagine. Neither of the Radiant heroes that rotated in actually want to stick around for this one. It's FN's problem once he respawns. And that's exactly the kind of opportunity that Depressed Kid was looking for with his first ult with that DD rune. Now the action moves towards the bottom lane. Perushara's got his first ultimate activated, so they gotta push him away from the tower. Big Num is here, hexes him up.
Pretty good damage, but looks like it's about to run out. And now comes the burst. The real damage arrives. It's Depressed Kid. Doesn't take that much to kill a lion, but it takes a lot to kill a DK, so it doesn't take place today.
It's very least the ult run out. But yeah, Unique on the back foot here. And Depressed Kid getting some good defensive rotations in.
Indeed, good defensive plays. That's what Empire needs, and they've been living off of it during this game. 25 seconds for the Dragonborn to be up, but looks like they're already dodging this bot lane, as Ghostic is also keeping pressure in the top lane, realizing the situation and seeing all those people in the bottom half of the map. But Palantimos, he's not happy to be jungling at level 5 on the Seeker, so he needs Ghostic and maybe some other people to take the top tower so he can rotate to the top half of the map. They need to do some ancient stacks as well, which aren't there right now. Has been farming those, and Lina also needs to be farming these camps around.
Palantimos has been in the bin, and the problem for him is that FN is going to have to be the one making the plays here because Ghostic has queued up on Midas as well. So it's really just his Lina, who is not popping off as hard as she was in the previous game. Gets a haste rune now though. That's probably the one thing that could enable her to play up here. Feels safe while doing so.
Yeah, there's the only actual thing that might hurt her is the enchant. You have a haste for yourself, makes a quick appearance for the PL. Smiling Knight, I was looking at the SNY for a bit there. The Diffusal Blade SNY, maybe a potential Scotty game or something, but we'll have to see. As Bignum was killed in mid, another kill for Depressed Kid, 4-0, and Petushara with the ulti form up. Might be able to take down this mid tower. Still 10 seconds for the Lions to be up, so a Unique could still potentially defend this tower. They all have TPs. They could, but do they want to?
It's going to be hard. Ideally, you wait out this ultimate from Petushara by spamming out a couple of more blood rights from Palantimos, but it's very risky for him to walk up that far. As you can see all the way behind the tower already. Yeah, they gotta let it go.
Looking at Ghostic and FN both farming here in the jungle. Probably were hoping for a Phantom Lancer to walk into their hands as everybody else has been showing in mid. But PL is on the other side of the map farming Ancients, taking control and taking over the triangle. As Empire lead 5-0 with a tiny lead. But in the end, it is pretty even. It doesn't look like either team is an actual victor here. Slayer quickly dives out. Vanscore is right there. He misses him for a second. Can't get the enchant off. They're going to use the pushback. Ulti's coming out. The egg must be used. Or not, in this case. Could have maybe dropped it down. Ghostic was just about to finish the TP. If he did already finish the teleport, maybe then Phoenix might have pressed R on his keyboard.
Possible, but I think you'd way rather keep that for a big fight.
For the twins.
If you're Unique, you're going to have to find some way in, and specifically some way to get down some towers, slow down the enemy game, because right now Team Empire have the better late game with the scaling of all three of their cores, but especially the PL, as well as that they're going to have the tempo advantage because Petushara has a blink dagger.
They're going. Dragon form popped, going towards the triangle. There is Palantimos, but they hang on. That was a dire scan because he feels like he knows. He's taking the safe route. Nobody's pushing top. Nobody's pushing bot. Mid is empty. And Empire were hoping to find someone here, but it's gonna be a smoke for nothing.
Unfortunate for them.
But a good dodge from Unique. Because it did feel like they knew.
Yep. So Depressed Kid, because of the blink dagger over on his teammate, has finished up the Maelstrom himself, going into a BKB immediately to make sure that he doesn't actually get blown up by the Lina. Because of course, inherently he is safe from right clicks from heroes such as the Doom or the Lina herself as well, or Palantimos, but he's going to need that BKB in order to live versus all of the magic damage, and especially like you have a Finger as well as a Laguna Blade to worry about as a mid hero. They will target you down.
They will. BKB is going to be a big pickup here, as Doom, with his own Blink Dagger, is prepared to smoke and go, and Depressed Kid is right there. And they come to the rescue in time. Smiling Knight intervenes. Wind Ranger is probably going to fall from all the tick damage, but they've taken FN and Vanscore. Egg goes off, and a quick dive, but there's also a slap in the face by Smiling Knight. Denies the kill. Slayer. Up to a bit of a late TP. He did go for the dive to try and attempt on the kill, but Palantimos, he's not going to make out of this one.
Ay, Nikita. That feels so bad. Look at where he is on a net worth right now. He is dangling all the way at the bottom of the course. He knows he needs to play near in case Team Empire brings everybody. His Rupture is still very important. His AoE silence can still do a lot. But the problem is that also puts him in harm's way, and right there he just gets punished for it.
He does. An Empire looking pretty good. They're getting the connections that they need. They only end up losing their Wind Ranger, and that was also a deny. So that streak is still up and alive after Wind Ranger returns back into action. So there's still a dominating streak to be picked up despite that one death. Slayer Gets stunned up. Hoodwink ulti. Couple right clicks from Depressed Kid. Seiyu
You're better off
gets
dead.
this one.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
And this is the way you love to play a Hoodwink with a tanky frontliner that's just going to go in, give you vision, stun somebody for long enough that you can always get your sharpshooter off. It is so much damage.
It is. And it's also an instant stun with a long duration. And Palantimos has been scouted out. No connection with the shackle shot, but here comes the Dragon Tail. And again, Palantimos, he is suffering the fates
Radiant has lost.
of the Empire cores in the previous game. Ghostic is sleeping for a little bit there. He was looking, I think he was looking somewhere else. But he's gonna get caught. Petushara with the blink stun. Slayer right next to him. LSA Sun comes through. They got the Laguna Blade as well. And Petushara, who is trying to make his way out with the Sunray coming out as well. And a couple ticks, but it's not gonna be enough. And Ghostic with 150 HP into the trees, trying to get away of Zfn. He's keeping Seiyu out. They're holding Ghostic alive, but the snipe from Depressed Kid on another stun from onto Slayer by Petushara, who is setting up all of these kills one by one. And Empire, 13-1. They're back. They're definitely back after this.
Tower under fire.
This is the revenge of Depressed Kid. That guy, I was wondering, you know, can he actually come back from the previous game where he's been put completely in the dumpster? Well, guess what? They have responded by shoving Palantimos in there instead, and now it is Empire ruling. And again,
Yep.
this
Money's
lineup from
burned.
Unique has a lot less comeback possibilities. They're going to have to hit hard, and they're going to have to hit it soon. Fen, not at his BKB just yet.
Also, not
Palantimos
just the...
still not a Maelstrom. Oh lord, this is a hard game.
It is. And also, not only just Depressed Kid having a better game, but Petushara, the man who was being bullied in his Timbersaw game. And we talked about him having the hunger to come back into this one and show what he's truly made of. He is making so much money for his team by showing up, doing what he's meant to do, and might just be, again, in the right place at the right time because Unique is on the move.
They're going to run into 4 heroes here.
They have scouted Ghostic for so many times. He misses it, but the Dragon Tail will be there, and the Sharpshooter. If they can't get the Shackle shot, they still have the Dragon Tail for it.
So, hey, remember what I said last game when I comment on the Linas going for Yules first? Because that means that
remember.
at the point where you really want to BKB, you're about a Yule's worth of gold short.
Yeah,
This
I
is
remember.
that moment.
It is. You have a Yules, but you don't have a BKB on yourself, so it's a whole different story now.
Yep, and this would have been a possible build if he had anybody else to make space for him, but his carry is not available right now. And his Doom went for a Midas first as well into a Blink Dagger, so neither of them have the ability to frontline right now.
True. And now a Aether Lens on the Hoodwink. You can see, look at that cast range. Look at that circle of Bushwhack. You can throw it so far away, and the projectile is, it's decent. It's pretty fast. It's not like super
I heard
slow
Laguna
or
Blade.
super, but look at that. Ghostic gets a 2-man stun. The Sharpshooter goes off as FN is taken out. A dive in from Slayer, focusing on the supports of Empire as they have already taken out a big core. Slayer doesn't want to go in, and he's overstayed his welcome as well. Power shot in the face. Depressed Kid 8-1-3 in the Wind Ranger, and just playing with Unique.
Team Empire is just feeling their lineup so well right now. All they need to do is have Petushara go in, have anyone else attract some attention over on the flank, and then you have all of these long-range sharpshooting abilities. Well, Smiling Knight, yeah, get a solo, my man. Why not? They're killing him too fast over on the other side of the map. You might as well get your own kills in over here.
Yep, it's a quick lion. When you have a diffusal blade, there's nothing better than that. It is it is a very strong Empire, and Unique are demoralized. Their carry is 6,000. 5,500 net worth behind the enemy carry. That is how grave the situation is. Unique have scored 1 singular kill. That is big num. They would have 2 if the PL wasn't denied. That's
impressive.
how it's
And
going.
they just go again.
Yeah, they just
Empire
go
say-
again. They're like, F that. We're just going to keep up
Yeah.
this pressure. We're going to keep the aggression. We're here to play. Are you? Petushara. He's in the front. No BKB. Has the blink and 2,000 HP to work with. Empire taking a long dive. I like the deep ward that they placed down. Gonna
A lot
show
of good
behind
coverage
the tower.
behind the tier 2.
Yep.
And then, you know what Unique is doing at the same time? I think this is the only possible play for them. They needed somebody else who could engage, who could initiate and make plays, because they don't have playmaking ability out of their Lina right now. So they prioritized Bignum's Blink Dagger. He actually got mid lane creeps over his Lina. She was sitting behind him to ensure that he could get this Blink. So now they have a possible reaction to Pedushara going in.
Yep. Ghost Stick was.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah,
is
they,
being
I think yeah
attacked.
they just revealed the board on that cliff. As soon as Ghost Stick popped his Scorched Earth, that revealed it, and they find the ward on the high ground, but say you can't get close to it, so they're just gonna have to let this one slide, wait for more heroes to reveal, and then start going for some good old de-warding action. But that was
At
a
the
good
very least-
indicator.
Yeah. But
Empire coming again. No chill. Absolutely no chill.
zero kill. In the meantime,
this-
Vol Assassin actually took down that ward.
Oh no, Palatimos.
Ay. The line is nowhere near.
There's nobody nearby. He's down. They found FN as well. Unbelievable. They were not seeing that one coming. Empire, if they were spotted maybe a minute ago by the Doom, and found the wards on the cliff and realized maybe we're not going. Empire smokes up and goes right in, and Unique was sleeping.
I'm using these off cooldown, and now
And
they
Ghost Stick.
also found Ghost Stick. They're doing
Shackle
Roshan
shots.
at the same time.
How slowly they're killing him as well. No focus fire, so they're gonna let him slide this time, but at least a demonstration of power.
Yeah, I see you just not saving the bushwhack there.
He just used it, and then Doom started TPing, so I'm guessing it was still on cooldown for a little bit there.
Yeah, it was. Which is exactly where I'm like, you haven't dead to rights, man. He's not going anywhere. You
Yeah.
don't have to use the bushwhack. But you know, it happens to the best of us.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Does sometimes. What is Unique's game plan? What can we get out of this Bloodseeker?
Nothing, which
Okay.
is why they prioritize that lion.
It's over. It's Doom pretty much. Well, right now it doesn't feel like they can do much. Doom
No.
needs to get really, really big here. Lina needs BKB. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. I can't really see many win conditions here on Team Empire. On Team Unique. As Empire strikes back once again, they are hunting. Unique heroes are fleeing. They are trying to get back into hiding. Doom has a TP in 5 seconds. They spot Slayer.
Vulnerable Dire's towers are.
They are still around the area, hiding in the trees. Guerrilla warfare, you could almost say.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they
All
spot
they're
Slayer.
hoping for is either a pick off or to get cut to waves. It's like, hey, they already found a kill here, right? So surely there must not be any more of them. The problem is, of course, that Seiyu is very dangerous with his scurry. He could go into the trees and look for them if he wanted to.
Ghost Stick is still around. He really needs that BKB recipe, so he's staying around in this area for as long as possible. Seiyu hiding in the trees. The tier 2 tower is about to fall at the hands of the Smiling Knight.
Radiant's bottom tower
You know, the worst
under
part
fire.
is for Unique, they prioritized this Blink Dagger over on the Lion so heavily, and then he wasn't in position for the aggression that came. And
Yep.
now next time there's going to be a fight, there's going to be a BKB on Pedushara. He's got it right now. So, yeah, DK is going to come in, and the Lion is going to try and do something about it. And if Pedushara plays this right, he's just got his BKB popped.
Going for an Agnim's next as well. 23 minutes in. PL's at 14,000 net worth. Wind Ranger 11k. And then the Doom, the most farmed hero with the Midas. Still 100 gold short from the Black King Bar recipe. There's a pretty lone DK here. Usually spells danger, but Unique. If they just have 5 heroes at the same time, it might happen, but Slayer dives out. FN, however, Diffusal Bladed needs some help. Earth Spike comes through. Shackle Shot almost connects.
Smiling Knight just a little bit short of finishing off that heart for now. He's going to have it very soon though, and at that point it's pretty much impossible for Unique to deal enough damage into him to actually kill him. You don't have the
Unique
burst.
Needs
Don't
to
have
win
to
this
sustain.
fight if they take it. They're smoked up, hoping for a straggler.
Radiant's middle tower
then get the team fight rolling. I think the only way they win is 1 by 1 by 1, basically.
Yes.
But Empire are clustered up once again. So close to each other. Distances are small. If somebody gets attacked, you've got a whole neighborhood running after you after that.
Absolutely. What you're hoping for here is that the damage of the PL into your 2 BKB cores is negligible, and you get to hunt down his supports first before turning on him.
Yep. Oh,
But-
Slayer. Oh, that's a curveball stun, but it connects. Big Nub Doom on the back, though. And there's the Lion. Finger coming out. They have the egg dropped as well, and Unique, they found it. The 1 kill, but they can't protect the egg. The egg is out of play. Ghostic all by himself. FN finally arrives, but Petushar with his BKB will be a hard one to focus on. They will lose Ghostic, and now FN BKBs as well, and doesn't know should she stand her ground or try to get the heck out of there. They also have a Rupture thrown down. They will take down Seiyu, but that's a really small pick-off that they can get, and Unique end up losing 3 heroes. They kill the Wind Ranger, but they end up losing a lot more again. PL is just unkillable. Hard now finished. 3.2k HP, Aegis in the bag. What can you do?
Not too much. The problem is as well that if you engage in, you're always going to be followed up. Smiling Knight has so much chasing potential. Like, in fact, Ben is going to find that right now.
The body blocks are real. Their own creeps are griefing you. But luckily, Lina stays alive a little bit longer.
Tower under fire.
See the Ag Shard pick up by the PL. These illusions, they're a big nuisance. They are a really big nuisance. You've probably, any viewer, anybody right now, playing against the Phantom Lancer in a game where you're playing from behind and you have all these illusions bullying all your pesky low-level supports, you've probably been there, and you know it's an awful experience. This is exactly what Unique is feeling right now against this Phantom Lancer.
Yep. And it looks like it's a little bit of the same situation as the last game, right? One team is stomping, the other one is actually holding on to their high ground for dear life. But
Yep.
we're talking about the difference between hoping for Medusa to get online versus hoping for a Bloodseeker to get online here. It's
Yeah.
not pretty.
And getting a Bloodseeker online doesn't usually look too fancy.
No. It usually happens a whole lot earlier, though. At the very least,
Pretty much.
he got himself a BKB. So triple BKB over for Unique. They have the option for about 8 seconds or so, deal as much
Yeah.
damage as they want. The problem is that I don't think it's enough damage at this point.
Yep, the only damage they had there was actually the Doom and the Phoenix jumping in the front at the same time, and they dealt the majority. Felt like the Lina was very late for the fight. The Bloodseeker was very late as well. So they were down a couple players when they already were finishing off the Wind Ranger kill. So if they just have those distances a little bit smaller, this is a risky attempt to go to this tower. Because of this reason, they're just gonna go straight up in. Then they have a focus fire on the Lina, and Lina's not enjoying her life at all. But they also have a Doom thrown onto the Wind Ranger, and Ghostic is going ham, but he can't see him. The Glimmer Cape saves the day. Ghostic tries to TP out. No can do. There's an egg that explodes as well, but Petushar is dropping low, but Palantimos is also on the run, and FN has already fallen down as well. And Empire looking for more Palantimos. He won't be able to get out either. He's down 2, and it's just the Phoenix and the Lion, and it's GG. That is a straight slap in the face, but Empire, they're back in this one, and they tie it up 1-1.
That was a very decent attempt. They're trying to isolate Petushari. You throw one hero in deep, make sure that all of the enemy attention is focused on that. Lina giving it a good shot, but they just couldn't chew through that tanky DK over on the backlines. They just didn't have any damage whatsoever. So once your front line is swept up, Empire just move on towards your backline. And it was very emblematic for this game almost, that there was just no way for Unique to make a stand whatsoever. Once Petushara got going and all of his ranged damage dealers just followed him around the map, there was not really anything Team Unique could put in edgewise.
Yep, and this was really depressed Ken and Petushara. They have been lifted onto the pedestal, and much better a day and night performance with a different draft, different execution. They made Unique look bad in this game. They went for this is 2 games in a row. The last pick has lost the game, as the Bloodseeker last pick versus the what was the last pick in game number 1? I forgot again. the Magnus last pick. So both of them struggling a loss here. Empire rejuvenated. Do you think they can keep this up?
I think so. I think that especially having the press kid as sort of the confidence engine behind his team is extremely important. There's just no way that Team Unique are going to let Petushara have this DK again. They banned it for a good reason in the first game. They're not going to let it happen again in the third game. I would be extremely surprised.
We'll have to wait and see. We can notice that the hype is building up slowly, so don't disappear anywhere. We'll be back with game number 3.